Hi, thank you for joining us on Goodwin Conversations. I'm Goodwin's chair, Anthony McCusker, and today I'm in our beautiful San Francisco office. I have the pleasure of speaking with Carl Metzger. Carl is a member of our management committee and one of our litigation partners based in our Boston office. Carl, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
So you grew up in DC, and then after college, you took maybe a different route than some of our colleagues. You became a farmer for a couple of years. Is that right?
I worked on a farm for 2 years.
So tell us a little bit about some of the experiences or the things that you really loved about that time. So unique.
Well, I think after being a student, it was nice to be in a kind of more rural environment that was very different than academia. I spent a lot of time working with animals. I mostly milked cows and looked after a beef herd. And it was just a lot of fun, a lot of natural beauty, good people, hardworking. I definitely learned that I did not want to spend the rest of my life milking cows.
Is that what sent you to decide, hey, maybe I should go to law school, or what was it?
I think I knew beforehand that I was going to go to law school, and I think that's part of what allowed me to give myself permission to do something a little different. But it definitely, when I got to law school, working on that farm helped me appreciate what a privilege it is to be a full-time student.
Yeah.
And I think I applied myself better in law school, having had that experience.
So you've recently become a member of our management committee, one of the leaders of our litigation practice. What excites you about the future in litigation here at Goodwin?
The nice thing about our litigation practices here is that we're doing very well. We've had 4 years of double-digit growth in litigation. We feel poised to do much better. I think there's a real sense of a collective desire, if you will, to achieve even more and to grow our bench, to grow our reach, to make sure that we are on the cutting edge of any litigation practice area that's relevant to our clients.
Yeah, you're one of the culture standard bearers at our firm, right? Everyone knows that, and how you bring yourself to everything you do here at Goodwin shows, I think, the best of Goodwin and culture. What specifically do you do with your teams to instill the Goodwin way, our culture, in how we work together?
I think what attracted me to Goodwin 20 years ago, and I think like a lot of people who lateraled here, I had choices. There is something about this place that I think lets people be themselves. And I think that is somewhat unique in the large law firm environment. That is something that I want all the people around me to feel like they can be themselves, that we can challenge each other, that no matter what your position is, you feel like you can speak up. So I hope that's the kind of environment I create with, the people that I work with.
Something I've observed with you working, Carl, is how you empower and inspire the next generation that you work with, the younger people throughout our firm, lawyers and Go team alike. Are there anything that you do specifically to make sure you're empowering and inspiring and helping to support the next generation?
I think what I see is that next generation, it's not going to be too long before they're running this place.
Yeah.
And in my 20 years here, it's been amazing to see kind of the changes in leadership that we've had. So to me, empowering that younger generation and making them feel like they are stakeholders and they are owners, that's what's going to ensure the continued success of Goodwin going forward.
So I know that when you're not working, one of the things you love most is being out in nature.
Yes.
What are some of the activities that you enjoy the most?
Anything that gets me out in nature where I feel a little bit disconnected from the world. My wife and I originally met backpacking, and we love going out in the mountains. We do a lot of that. I do river trips, particularly like whitewater river trips. I love that. But really, I'll do almost anything if it gets me outside.
In kind of characteristic, modest Carl Metzger, one of those river trips you took was through the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
It's harrowing and treacherous and probably exhilarating at the same time. Can you tell us a little bit?
Well, at the risk of sounding immodest, I've done that trip twice now. And these are 16-day trips. It's our own group. It's not guided. Each time we've done it with 5 rafts and some folks in kayaks. And the second trip was the one I was most proud of, where I was in a kayak for the whole river, all 16 days, which includes some really big whitewater, some of the biggest whitewater in the country. And I think it helps, having those experiences helps put our work environment in context.
Yeah.
And gives you kind of a broader view of life in general.
Yeah, that's awesome. Carl, thank you so much. It was wonderful to have you.
Well, thank you. Nice to be here.
And thank you for joining us on Goodwin Conversations.